Hey, Lewis Switcher here. Welcome to the Lewis Switcher Show. Today on Cinema Showcase, the sequel, we're going to be going over some more of these hidden gems in my library, some of the stuff that I've been shuffling through over the last few days and giving a watch and revisiting and all sorts of that stuff. So stay tuned to the show, and hope you guys enjoyed the last episode, but let's go for a ride.
Hey, dude. It's a little wild and a little strange when you make your home out on the range. Start your horse and come along, but you can't get around if you can't hold on. Singing, yippee-ki-yay, yippee-ki-yay, what? Like the cowboys say. Sing it again now. Yippee-ki-yay, get along, little boys, till the break of day. Better watch out for those man-eating jackrabbits and that killer cacti. Hey, dude.
What the fuck are you doing on Five Beach? What I said, Fossey?
After all the shit that you pulled, I think you can at least hear me out. I mean, I feel like you owe me that.
You really expect me to act like nothing ever happened?
No, I've already forgiven you. It's water under the bridge.
Stay there. You don't want it to go down like this.
Oh, it's going down like this.
I'm warning you.
And I'm trembling.
Alright, so first up, we're going to be showcasing a sequel, hence the episode name, Cinema Showcase, the sequel. And first up that we're going to be discussing is a flick called Lost Boys, The Tribe, the long-anticipated, awaited sequel to the immortal classic, The Lost Boys. Alright, so this one, I remember we saw this at Disc Replay for the pilot episode of mine a few months ago already. And to me, I know there's probably a lot of people that don't really like the sequel and are, I guess, very much, passionate about the first one and didn't really want there to be a sequel made. Obviously, there were 3 made. Part 2 and 3 obviously weren't to the caliber of the first one, but very, very enjoyable. Now, as you guys know, Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, love those guys. They both show up in this film. Corey Haim sadly only has a cameo in this flick, and obviously we know that Corey Haim had passed away right before production, I believe, started on the 3rd entry into the franchise. But let's take a look at some examples of what I really like about this film. Corey Feldman's dialogue and his character in this film as Edgar Frog reprising his role is spectacular. It's corny in every single way, but so damn quotable. Other things that I really liked, for it being a straight-to-video release and a low-budget production, I thought the acting was pretty good. I thought Angus Sutherland, Kiefer Sutherland's brother, half-brother, whatever you call it, Tad Hilgenbrink, he was in a flick called The Hills Run Red that I actually really enjoyed. But I don't know, seeing Tom Savini pop up in the beginning was very, very pleasant and enjoyable nonetheless. But I really like The Lost Boys, The Tribe. Love The Thirst. I love Part 3. In the comments, tell me what you guys thought about Lost Boys, The Tribe. Moving on. Alright, so briefly up is going to be a sequel that I always really adored, and I think very few sequels are like stronger than the original, and Pet Sematary 2 for me, I thought was like better than the original. Like I enjoyed it. I love the book that Stephen King wrote for the original a story of Pet Sematary, but this one with Anthony Edwards, Clancy Brown, and Edward Furlong, I feel like is just so wacky. I mean, that scene that we just saw with Clancy Brown at the dinner table with him and Eddie Furlong is just, it's amazing. It's so much fun. It's intense. It's I feel like this film has a lot of elements of like dark comedy, but you know, the horror elements too are outstanding. Some of the special effects in the movie are great. I think this is just back in a period where horror filmmakers and people who went into making perhaps lower budget sequels to bigger films, I just feel like conquered the challenge much more than filmmakers do today. So Pet Sematary 2. In the comments, what do you guys think? Did you guys dig the sequel to Pet Sematary? To me, it was a hit, smash hit, no doubt. So moving on.
I handle one of the toughest zip codes in the country. Ask anyone at 10021 about Henry Sikorsky. Would you mind cleaning up your area? No one likes a Mr. Messy. Fuck you. Game's over. Wrong.
Yes, Billy!
I'll shoot the girl.
Go ahead. I got lots of girlfriends.
I'm a police officer. Drop the gun.
I'm a mental patient. I'm not
All right,
impressed.
so next on the list, we're going to discuss a feature called The Dream Team. And, you know, it's a sequel, so we got to include some Michael Keaton, you know. But this film, it's a Best Buy exclusive, I remember, when it came out on Blu-ray. But I have a VHS copy of it, a DVD, and a Blu-ray, because it's just one of those flicks that, you know, never gets old. It's incredibly rewatchable. The cast, I mean, Chris Lloyd, the late, great Peter Boyle, Stephen Furst, and, of course, Michael Keaton, James Remar, Lorraine Bracco. So, you know, an all-star level cast, and the comedy involved in this flick is unbelievable. I mean, line after line, very, very quotable. Quick synopsis is, you know, these four guys are mental patients, and their doctor thinks it's a good idea to go to New York City to a Yankee game, and some shenanigans happen with the doctor, and he lands up in the hospital. So you got four nuts on the streets of New York. So, you know, and these being the nuts, so, you know, you got Christopher Lloyd, whose performance is spectacular in everything he does. But the Dream Team, awesome, hidden gem, underappreciated. Very thankful it did get a high def release and a Blu-ray release. You know, there's nothing really on it, a trailer. But thank you, Universal, for a trailer, but a pretty damn good transfer, though. So, thoughts on the Dream Team? What do you guys think? Yeah?
I am so sorry. Are you all right?
No, I'm fine. What happened?
It was the craziest thing. I took my eye off the road for one moment to change the radio station. Next thing I knew, bam, you were right on top of me, from out of the blue. I really should have known better at my age.
All right, so next up on the list, Cinema Showcase is a flick put out by Shout Factory called Fender Bender. And this one is one of those flicks that's very, very surprisingly very well made. Very good, very enjoyable, very entertaining. I actually really like the alternate artwork they provided. I got this for like $5 at My Family Video, but I really, really dig that that different artwork, the reversible artwork that they give you. I think that's really awesome. But Mackenzie Vega and Bill Sage are the stars of this flick, and it's just really one that kind of caught me off guard how good it was. Like I'm really rooting for a sequel. It's a very, very simplistic story about a fender bender. This guy is literally like a serial killer that pretty much goes around and kind of bumps into somebody and gets their information, and then screws around with them pretty crazily. Plays some games with them and cat and mouse stuff, but so much fun. I thought the music to this film like really, really gravitated, you know, at least towards me, and felt really good to my ears, and I just thought the score for this really underlined the film and made it really, really enjoyable, much more enjoyable than I anticipated. You know, because this one obviously didn't have a big budget or anything, but the release was fantastic. I'm really rooting for a sequel for this. So Shout Factory, any way you guys ever see this someday, I would love to see a sequel to Fender Bender. Thoughts, comments on this one? But really, really cool release. Definitely very, very underappreciated, and I think it came out maybe 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Okay, 2 years ago, yeah, 2016. But highly, highly recommend Fender Bender.
I've never done this before. I totally lied. I'm scared shitless.
Oh man, what can I say about this next flick we're going to talk about and showcase? Adam Green is a tremendous filmmaker, an incredible director, the creator of characters like Victor Crowley in the Hatchet series. But to me, Adam Green's best film, for several different reasons, is Frozen, in my opinion. This being released by Anchor Bay, but to me, a film that can invoke so many different emotions and make you feel like you're right there with these characters. I mean, this film's premise is a little loud there on that ski lift there. Let me turn this volume down. But yeah, honestly, this flick just has a way of kind of putting yourself in there in this ski lift with these three characters. They get stuck on this lift and have to figure out a way to survive on their own. But yeah, Frozen, absolutely fantastic. Some of the stuff that happens in this film are, almost very, very hard to watch because of how real it feels. The film was shot on location at a ski resort, so it's, it's not like it's shot on a soundstage and you can tell it's fake or anything like that. Like, it feels very, very authentic and genuine and very real, and it's very scary. And I'd be scared to death if it happened to me. But yeah, like I said, I can't praise it enough. I can't put it on a higher pedestal. I think Adam Green's art direction with what he wanted to do and how he wanted to make the audience feel, he accomplished that and way more. The first time I saw this film, it actually terrified me. This film runs about, let's say, just about 90 minutes, so it's a pretty average length as it goes for a feature, but all 90 minutes, you get very invested in the characters. It's basically like the whole film takes place in one location, up on the ski lift, so you have three actors that have to make you care about them, and they succeed, and just what follows is incredible, and the cinematography is gorgeous. I love how snow is photographed and how it looks on film, and to shoot a picture in the winter, I think just kind of captures, at least grabs my attention, and I'm really attracted to it. Like, it's a silly flick, but there's a film in the Wrong Turn series, Wrong Turn 4, where it's shot in the wintertime, and I love that film. But back to Frozen, honestly, watch it, buy it. I don't know if I would say the rewatch value is super high. To me it is, but this film really kind of screws you up. Like, it's pretty intense. I'm just basing this all on my opinions of it and watching it probably more than 5 or 6 times full length. This is so damn good, and Adam Green did such a great job, and I feel like this is so underappreciated and not a lot of people talk about it. So I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to shine a light on Frozen. But that is going to wrap up the films I'm going to showcase on this episode. Short and sweet. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Discussion is always so much appreciated on the show. So if any of the films that I went over you haven't seen and you're interested in, or if you have seen them and you have some feedback, I'd love to hear what you guys thought about it. So thank you guys, everybody, to watch the last episode Cinema Showcase, and for those of you who are watching now, the sequel, it's very much appreciated. So thumbs up, subscribe. See you guys next time on the Lewis Switcher Show. Much love to everybody.